I'm listening to the story.
Oh my gosh. Sounds like a paycheck coming in the mail.
He's just going to be buying us all the food for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really glad you sent out that note about parking on the west side. I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
I gotta go to the church.
Not everybody saw it, and I forgive them for it. Oh. Perfect.
I was sitting all blissfully working on a puzzle, just in for the night. I was like,
Well, I'm glad you're here, Bobby.
thank you. I'm glad to be here.
It'll be nice to kind of do some unifying stuff. I wish there was a way to turn music on in here. I'll just put on Spotify stuff on my laptop. Play some Daughtry Rocky
Daughtry
worship.
worship. Parker has a bunch of AI versions of our songs that he and Luke were messing with today, and it is terrifying.
You guys want to hear?
Sure.
What's up, Andy?
I give AI presentations, so
It's crazy how I'm frustrated about how good it sounds.
Yeah.
So this is Faithful Now, but a choir rendition.
oh my gosh, really?
All AI.
Was this
This is Suno. S-U-N-O. That's not a real person. Okay, here's the chorus, right? Oh, this is all AI. It took about 30 seconds. It popped out 2 versions at a time in 30 seconds. Let me see what else there is. Here's
I'm glad I'm not in the workforce these days.
yeah. Here's a metal version of Worthy Through It All. It really sounds like Daughtry, but here's some screamo in it. Hi, Misha. That's all AI. All AI.
We'll mix it.
Then the next question is because Matt was picking on you on Sunday in the vestry, are you doing an AI sermon on there?
I should make him say some out-of-pocket stuff.
We've got enough. I feel like we've got enough audio from him that we could train a bot. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Takes about 15 seconds.
Yeah, but I could make Worthy Through It All sound like a bossa nova. I should. I love throat singing. That's not a real girl. AI's coming for our jobs.
Always take you to the bounce
No?
when it's doing like full multi-track and stuff.
Hi, Russ. This is all AI, not a real person.
Russ, help yourself some pizza, man.
Yeah. Listen. Anyways, my mind is blown, and I spent all afternoon just doing this. Whoops.
I have several presentations on AI. I do some demos sometimes in the middle.
Yeah. It's crazy what it,
Blows, mostly from seniors. And they're like, no, you didn't.
I even fed it Worthy through it all, and I said, make this sound even more like a mega church worship song. And it, you know, like, that's Chris Brown from Elevation. Fake cheering. Here. It's crazy.
This one got a little squirrely.
Well, because they just don't get us. So I take a bounce of the MP3, I give it to it, and I say, now make it sound like this. Make it have a little bit more like crowd vocals. It's crazy.
You can chat with them.
It'll make real time. Yeah. But have any of you guys heard of the band Sleep Token? Of Burn For You. You ready? Here. It's like this metal. The bridge is insane here. Help yourself. What?
Yeah,
It's so creepy. Hey, Diane spoke it into existence. She's gonna come start volunteering at Fred as well. Let it be known. Botsky heard it.
It'd be great to have them.
We should have done it like this at the worship night. Pretty good, right?
You're as scary as they are.
What do you mean? It's- It spit this out in 15 seconds. I timed it. Anyways,
One of them I like to demonstrate is, I can't remember what the website is, Microsoft Experiment. You give it basically a wallet-sized picture of someone and some audio, and it makes that person say whatever that audio is with facial expression.
oh yeah, it's terrifying.
I think we're close. We got plenty of za. Help yourselves. I estimated 3 slices per person, and I got cheesy bread too. So, great. Creed, can you make sure we're recording in Resi? My man.
My life.
Luke, will you go double check that we're passing audio? You should be able to hear it in the broadcast room. Oh, I'm just talking into the podium mic. Because Jen couldn't be here, Barry couldn't be here, and we're very sad about that. Great. Well, he doesn't even know we're doing a video, and I have a handout that you guys will be able to get at the end. I'm full of handouts. well, no, no test. No test. But yeah, so check 1, 2. Making, oh gosh, that's so bright. But the problem is if I turn this down, I turn that down. So I'm talking to myself mostly, but also doing it to check this microphone. Yeah, so sound all right? Great. You guys go ahead and feel free, grab a chair. We're just gonna like
Some of us sit all day long, so we're.
fair. Well, you guys are welcome to grab a chair at any point. We got plenty of them. But I just wanted to say thanks for being here, guys. I know a Wednesday night to do. You guys don't even know what we're doing or talking about or anything really, and so it means a lot for you to sacrifice your time, even if it was just for free pizza, and be here for this. Creed and I have a couple things, like some talking points through the night, but I just wanted to start with a little word of encouragement. I know since what I like to call it, the worship production merger, there's been a lot of just a lot of gray areas, and we're really excited to just move forward and grow as a team, both hopefully in number, right, but also in terms of depth of skill and depth of character and heart as well. And classic worship leader thing, it's like me and Luke and Joe. A lot of people think worship and they think of what the three of us do, but you guys are worshiping just as much as we are on a Sunday morning or a Wednesday night or whenever we are here together. You guys are sacrificing your time, your energy. It's early on those Sunday mornings, and sometimes things don't work, so you're sacrificing your mental health. Sometimes it feels like. But you guys are worshiping our God with that sacrifice of whatever it is you're bringing on a Sunday morning. And so I just wanted to read a little bit of scripture and encourage us, and then we'll pray, and then we'll get into tonight. This is from John 12. I don't want to read the NIRV. Thank you, Bible Gateway. So give me 1 second. So we are 6 days before the Passover, and Jesus had raised Lazarus from the dead. So there was this dinner that Lazarus's family was preparing in Jesus' honor, which in a lot of ways feels like what we're doing. We're coming and we are preparing to give something to Jesus, right? And Martha, I'm sure a lot of you guys, you know this story. She was busy cooking and busy preparing, and she was just really focused on giving this work to Jesus. And Mary, she just sat at Jesus' feet. That was her focus, and she poured this perfume on Jesus's feet and rubbed it in with her hair. You know, this thing that really was out of the norm. It was just odd is the word a lot of people would have used, and even disrespectful, really undignified. And in it, Martha, she gets really frustrated with Mary and is like, why aren't you helping me prepare this thing? And Jesus stops her. And he says, oh gosh, I lost it. Where'd it go? It's fine. I don't have it memorized. That's embarrassing. Where is it? Goodness, sorry. Judas in this was looking at this oil, this perfume that was poured, and said, that perfume is worth a year's wages. It should have been sold and given to the poor. And Jesus stops her and said, leave her alone. She did this in preparation for my burial. You will always have the poor among you, but you will not always have me. And I think this is really significant for us because we have these skills that we are developing, and we want them to be worth something when we give them to Jesus. He doesn't say what Martha is doing is bad in her preparation. He doesn't say what Mary's doing is bad in her sacrifice. He is, just so impressed with Mary and with her faith and her being willing to pour out this thing that is worth a year's wages. It's a big investment, that thing, and she's just pouring it out at Jesus' feet. And I want for us to be able to give this worship, this sacrifice to Jesus that is worth something, worth that year's wages, right? And so I just wanted to encourage you guys and say thank you for investing in your craft and in your heart, and just being here and being so willing to, invest so that we can pour it out at Jesus' feet. Give him a sacrifice that he is worthy of. Because in so many ways we could just show up on a Sunday. I've been guilty of it. I know Luke and Creed and Joe, all of us, we're on staff here, and we've been guilty of showing up with not our best before. And we just believe it is so important to give God our best because he deserves it, right? So I just wanted to encourage you guys and say thank you for investing in your worship and in what you want to give to Jesus, what he's worthy of. So let me pray, and then we will dive into the actual camera and directing side of this and what that actually looks like. Jesus, thank you. Thank you for this team. Thank you for those of us here and even those that couldn't be here that are sacrificing time and energy and whatever it may be to worship you. Help remind each and every one of us that no matter what position we are in on a Sunday, God, that we can offer you a costly sacrifice because you are worthy of it. Thank you so much that we get to hang out and talk about AI music and have pizza and talk about something as cool as running cameras and all this. God, we are just so thankful for you and the opportunity to worship you. We love you a lot, Jesus, and it is in your name that we pray. Amen. Alrighty, guys, let's dive in. I've got just a few talking points, and then I would love to kind of get our hands on with a few things real quick. But first, I'm going to turn it over to Creed, and we're going to talk vision. Go for it.
Parker already thanked you a bunch, but I'm just going to thank you again. What we do on a Sunday is really amazing in the fact that we are basically a soul ball preaching. And what we put together and what we do in person, one on screen, is really cool. But we are trying to make like some changes, and I want to give some vision to why. The main point is really this consistency factor. We want to be consistent, not just across the movement, but also across people, across like all of our camera ops and all of our directors. We're not trying to like hone in on this one thing. It's just we want to be more consistent, and we really think that by having this more consistent factor, we're going to be able to better our craft, and we're going to be able to have more communication, better communication between each other. So that's kind of the main thing. Then there's also a point like we really want to equip you guys better. We think we can do a lot better job of equipping you guys, giving you the tools to really get after it, giving you the tools to know what's coming up on a Sunday and to know what we're looking for stream and in person. So that's kind of the vision. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
I think it's really cool that we have a lot of new faces on our production team. Spencer, was this your first Sunday? It was our first Sunday together. Second Sunday, just a few days ago. And we've got people all the time that are to join our team that have never touched a camera before. At least not in this capacity. I know this is true of a lot of you. Like I know, Wes, you had done some photography stuff with us, but I don't know, had you ever used a rig like this before? And that's just one person. And so we want to make it really accessible for new people. So consistency, equipping you guys, and accessibility for new volunteers is really what we care about. And so with that, there are going to be some minor shifts to increase a little bit of clarity. To one, make it really easy for a new person to be able to jump in and succeed, but also, yeah, just for a consistent Sunday, no matter who's at the director's position, no matter who is on cameras, it's going to be awesome. And it's going to be something that's like, you don't have to think about the minutia, and you can just be really, really good at doing something really fun. You know, it's like I do that for my job. It's like I'm playing music, and if I didn't practice, it's like, and if I didn't have a role, like if I was like, oh, you're just going to be a musician today. Well, what does that mean? How can, you know, it's like you're just lost at that point. So we're going to be doing some roles like this. I made all those myself. So if they suck, you can let me know. I like, oh yeah, just like my music. But also, did you guys see this? Spencer, right there. 2 days ago. Anyways, yeah, with that, and part of this is we want to make it really, really easy, again, for a new person to succeed, or for you to just not have any questions coming into a Sunday. And so with that, we're going to be starting to schedule camera 1 and camera 2 at our front of house cameras as their own individual positions with this. And I'll explain it, and then if we have any questions once we're done, I'm sure I can answer them, or Creed can answer them, or we'll figure it out together, because I'm sure even though the 4 of us have put our heads together, there's a lot more than 4 of us here, so I'm sure there's questions that we couldn't even have imagined. But so with this, this is kind of what the new idea is going to look like. So camera 2, house right, which camera 2 is the one that doesn't have the zoom extender. Yeah, house right. So camera 2, because it's not a wide camera, or not a tight lens camera, we're going to kind of play into the strengths and have camera 2 focus more on wide shots and some other subject shots during worship, but kind of play into the strengths of these cameras. Camera 1 will do a lot more, especially during the sermon, a lot more of our tighter shots, because it can be tighter. So there's a little bit more of the strengths to play into. And so we'll start scheduling those separate, and then our rovers are our action shots. So during worship or speaking points, you'll be the handheld in the room, or I know recently over here at Niwot, they've been playing with, if they don't have a rover, they put one of the roving cams on keys or drums or something, and that'll give us even more flexibility for our directors to be able to make more shots happen.
What do you mean schedule separate?
So they'll just be separate roles instead of right now it's front of house cameras. And so we'll have camera 1, camera 2. And this will help, so if we have a new volunteer, they'll probably go on camera 2 because it's wider, there's less tracking you have to do. It's just a lot more accessible. And not that if you're placed on camera 2 on a week, that you're worse than whoever's at camera 1. You guys are all awesome. Well, that's great to know. Luke? Yeah. Yeah, great. Perfect. Well, Luke will remember that when he's scheduling, and if he doesn't, then, I mean, it's great. Perfect. But yeah, so it's going to be, I think, really helpful, especially, like, I'm having some conversations with some new people at church who are really interested in getting into it, who it's like, they're techie but have never touched a camera, which is like the perfect combination to get somebody into the production team. And so it'll be really nice to be able to put them on 2, which is going to be a little bit more accessible, but also really, really important, because during the message, that's going to be the one that gets the preach TV, you know, all these things. So it's not a matter of importance, but just rather role. And I think that'll create some clarity. So it's, you know, okay, I'm on camera 2. I just got to get the wide shots, or I just got to get, you know, those things. So I just wanted to give, excuse me, wow, that was a nasty burp, even if you couldn't hear it. It tasted like buffalo chicken and Coke Zero. And garlic. I had steak frites for lunch. It was gross. Anyways, yeah, that's my bad. You know, I'm just inviting you in today. We're pulling back all the curtains. So I just wanted to give a couple examples of these shots. We're not going to get into the nitty gritty tonight. I have a handout. I'll have a QR code for us to be able to scan. If you want a printed copy, I'll print you a copy, but I figure QR codes are all the rage these days. May as well lean into it. But so for our tight shots, we're going to be looking at a lot of like centered shots, people on no matter like the aspect ratio, or maybe I just cropped that weird, I don't remember. It's pretty easy. It's like camera one, we're gonna focus on these tight shots. We're gonna be focusing on that, and that's gonna mean you have to do a little bit more tracking if they're moving to keep them in frame. But you know, just that shot is gonna help the viewer be really engaged. And then the wide shot, equally important, is going to kind of give a little bit more context to our viewers, whether it's of Matt and it's a full body with his TV, or just him, or like this week we have Ben Foote speaking, and so we might actually need the tight shot to get a wide shot of him, little guy. I love him. I love it. We made a mistake the last time he was here. We did this like off angle camera, but we zoomed it like all the way out. And he looked tiny. He looked tiny. He does, and so there will be a lot more tracking on those tight shots of him, which is why these are going to be way easier if you're zoomed out. It's just easier to track. And then just a couple examples of some action shots, whether it's of a person worshiping or a tight up of an instrument or those speaking moments. Nothing crazy, like. We're not rewriting the alphabet here. We're kind of just trying to hone in and create some expectations that'll make it really easy for somebody who's been doing it for 30 years or somebody who's been doing it for 3 days succeed. And so I just wanted to say out loud a few things that are just going to open up some conversations, right? And so I wanted to talk about our priorities on a Sunday just as a camera operator. In order, like everything we do matters. The final product matters. But I wanted to just kind of talk in order, like when we're thinking as camera ops, when we're thinking as directors, when we're guiding our camera ops, just what we want to be thinking of. And it seems really simple, but it's worth mentioning, and that is focus. The framing doesn't matter if our focus is off. Yeah, it's like if Matt is really like going in, but the keys player is the one in focus, we kind of lose that. So that's just the number one thing, more than framing, more than anything to be thinking of. Number two then is framing, right? Because framing communicates something. Because if we're centered, it's really pretty direct. If we're on a third, it creates this sense of longing. You know, these things that people just say. But that matters. I think it really communicates something, like when we choose to put somebody on a third, or when we choose to center. And this will all be in the handout that I have for you guys. I know this is a lot of information, but I'm happy to digest it. Get lunch with literally anybody, and we can talk through it. I'm always down for free lunch. I know some of us are as well. I'm taking Wes out for free lunch tomorrow because he's helping me move some things, some heavy things. And then the third would be our layering movement, all the the extra things. Though layering, like if you have some, like a foreground thing that's out of focus, you know, just all the extra stuff. Like when I was on this, it's like I call it the bass player worshiping is in focus. That layering. Really, I just mean all the extra stuff. And so when we're communicating to new volunteers or kind of honing in these vibes, we're going for this artistic direction we're going for. Focus is going to be our first priority always. Framing, and then all the extra fluff that makes it go from like good to great. But yeah, so that's kind of what I have for our camera operators. With those roles, we're going to be kind of shifting how we're shooting things. We're going to be shooting for a lot more of our energy to come from our directors and how they direct and switch. not because what you guys have been doing is bad, but to just help create, like, we know we're always going to have a shot of whoever's leading the song or the worship leader for the day. So it's like if Luke or Joe or me or whoever is setting up baptisms over the intro of a song, we know at the end of the song before it, no matter who's leading it, that we always have a shot of whoever's leading the next moment. So there are just some things that are going to be kind of honed in a little bit that I think are going to be great.
Layering movement. You know, I always like to have motion in the shots.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing?
I think we're going to be a lot more intentional with it. Not that anybody's like just willy-nilly doing anything. But
Obviously not during the message, but
right. I think a lot of our movement is going to come now from like more switching. Not to say movement is gone entirely, but it's going to come from like mostly our rover cams, so that and from tracking. Like it's never going to be we're just zoomed in and we're going to lock in and not think the rest of the day. But a lot of our energy, and this is going to be mostly to help retain kind of like engagement and precision in what we're communicating. Yeah. And so after this, we'll break out into like directing and camera ops, and Creed will talk with all our directors kind of for some more like nitty gritty. And there's also more in the handout, but a lot of our movement is going to mostly stem from tracking and from the rovers having them in their hands, and the shots they choose to take. So it's just going to look a little different, and we're always willing to talk and have conversations. We just want to kind of dial in and kind of create that consistent experience. And so that I think helps us segue to our directing. First, I know I've laid a lot of information at y'all. Are we tracking? Are we feeling mostly all right?
I think so. It
Perfect.
sounds like you're trying to say something, but we haven't quite got to it yet.
Not
You're
really.
sort of beating around the bush about something.
No, I also want to say it's like, we're not saying what you guys have done is bad. You guys are awesome. Yeah, I know that. I just want to say it's like, you guys are the best. Like, we are so, it's like, I have camera experience, but all like pre-production. All my live production experience was in sound and lighting. So it's like, I tried to run some cameras for chapel services. Don't ask me to do that. I have a trimmer, and they were like, okay, you're never touching that camera again. But it's like, I just want to also say, it's like, we're not changing things because you guys suck. We're changing things just to hone in and to like make a sharp knife be able to cut air and like be able to feel that. But yeah, and so we wanted to kind of shift some responsibility for the energy of the room to our directors, both in terms of like, hey, these songs are gonna have a guitar solo, which we don't do a lot of anymore, but we know this song is a duet and it's gonna start with a girl lead, stuff from that side of it. But also it's like the switching, the rate we're switching, the like types of shots that we're asking for. We just want to put some of that into our directors' hands so they can actually direct and not just be switchers at the mercy of our camera ops. No offense, camera ops, you guys are the best. You guys are the best. But yeah, so with that, we're going to be kind of standardizing some lingo. Wow, lingo. I just had a lot of fun making these slides. I didn't even need to make one like that, but I thought it looked cool. But with that, I'm going to just throw it out into the room. Does anybody know what a cowboy shot is, if I say cowboy? Yeah? It's funny because it's like, that is lingo. Or if I said, give me like a medium shot on somebody. Yeah? Or like a full body. We know what a full body is. But there's some terms that I think you'll see. It would be awesome if one of you guys was like really so good at this that you were able to go make $1 bajillion in Hollywood. And it's like, if you ended up, or Atlanta, wherever you guys want to make movies, but it's like, they call it cowboy shot is like your mid-thigh shot. because in spaghetti westerns, that's where the holsters would end, and it would create, it's just all these things. But it's a mid thigh, and so we want to just give opportunities, and there's more of this in the handout to just standardize some lingo, so that if Diane is running camera and it's Russ or maybe Valerie, who knows, or Bobski or Creed switching. Then you always know like what to expect, so that no matter who's directing or switching or on camera, it's we're able to have some similar language, rather than trying to be like, hey, could you get me something that's like, I don't know, like kind of like mid thigh, but not like too close to the joint of their knee, so that we can kind of move away from that. I love a cowboy shot, and being able to say, hey, give me a cowboy. What's cooler than that, right? And yeah, so again, in this handout, I'm kind of at this like not quite 50,000 foot view. I'm probably at like descending altitude. We're probably at 10,000 feet right now. There will be plenty of stuff in the handout, and I'm always happy to have that discussion. And then the last thing that our directors we're going to be kind of changing, and this one I think will be a little bit of a learning curve, but I think we'll be really good at creating energy for the viewer, whether it's on iMag in the room or on stream or the sermon podcast. I had no idea so I started recently uploading the sermon to all of the places it goes after service on Sundays. And so that's Spotify for podcasts, Subsplash, which is our app, YouTube, and Vimeo. And on our app alone, just for this past Sunday, not like 2 days ago, but the one before that, I looked and we were at like 300 plays on the sermon just in the app, which is like not a small number. And so there's just all these places we're thinking about, locations, the things we are communicating. And that is transitions. Very fun. One of the easiest ways to create energy is with good switching. One of the easiest ways to create distractions is bad switching. No pressure to our directors. But like if, let's say, a song ends and Luke's about to do communion, but I led the song, and Luke gets 2 minutes into his, and this has never happened, you guys have never done this, but if Luke's like 2 minutes into his communion meditation and it's still just on me tuning my guitar, it's like that could be really distracting. Whereas it's like really intentional, well-paced switching really keeps the energy moving and the ball rolling. Sorry, it's like squirrel. That's your people. Hopefully they don't hit any bystanders. For those of you watching later, Heath got hit by an undercover cop car. It's not anyways. And so to pull the Band-Aid off, we're going to be doing a lot more cutting. We've been really slow fade or medium fade heavy as of late. But we're going to be cutting from camera to camera pretty often, fading from like mixed media, so CG to cameras to CG. But a lot of cutting. Just from what research we've been doing and the kind of the vibes we've been feeling out, the cutting thing helps kind of keep us engaged. And so with that, I'm sure there will be some learning curves just with, like during songs, with fades you can kind of switch whenever. You can fade and it all kind of bleeds together. With cutting, Creed had figured out the hard way the first time he ever did it. It's like, oh, you kind of got to cut on beat. Like you got to feel the beat and cut on beat. Would you agree? Like it really helps. And so doing that really well, and it doesn't always have to be on the 1, 2, sometimes a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. You don't want to have to go faster than that. But that cutting keeps the energy going of our viewers, no matter where they are. And I think it's going to be really cool to see just how that feel kind of shifts from.
So I generally
totally.
and it's faster, you're doing, generally I'll just do takes, they're 7 frames, I think, that's all.
Yeah.
So you're saying we're gonna just do a lot, you don't wanna cut on a slow song, do you?
We'll still be cutting on slow songs, just maybe not as much or not as quickly. Like those high energies, you want the energy to keep moving. But the cuts, especially on musical beats, we found even when making like our music videos and stuff, really like help moments feel really intentional. Not that fades are unintentional.
Most of the time we'll do cuts.
Yeah, pretty much exclusively, except for from and to CG from cameras or baptisms. Yeah, so because it's such a jarring like angle difference and all this for baptisms, we especially from a different campus, we'll be doing fades. I don't know. Creed might have more thoughts on that. That's something that, thank God, right, happens pretty much every week, but is such a small amount of time in that it's like Creed might have a specific thought, or we might try fades and then cut between this. And, you know, it's like there's some thoughts there that I'm sure he has that we will.
Look, the bottom line is cuts by default
Mm-hmm.
during the worship.
Yep, and during the message as well.
I think we've been doing cuts during the message.
Yep. Yeah, and you guys have been doing great with that. But yeah, and it's not a do this like because you've been doing this bad. It's like we just want to kind of standardize across the lanes. Okay, I just threw a ton of information at you. That some of it had to do with what you're doing, some of it did not, and some of it might be confusing. I have this handout for us. It's just a Google Drive link. This QR code will do it, and I will also just send it to everybody once we are done here, whether they were here or not. I will send it to everybody. And if I don't, Creed will, because he's on top of it. But yeah, I wanted to open it up for just a little bit and see if you, excuse me, that was another pizza burp. See if you guys had any questions. Creed?
The only thing I think might be good to talk to in Big Circle
Yeah.
is about tracking. Like what exactly are we looking for?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. So a lot of our tracking, like we kind of understand, is going to come from like our more active tracking is going to come from tighter shots. That's just kind of how it works, especially to maintain framing. There's this plugin in Premiere called Auto Reframe, and it finds the subject of your shot and keeps it in center, and it is surgical. It is Matt's head moves a pixel this way, it follows him a pixel, and it saves me a ton of time when I'm making sermon reels. When he's standing, obviously when he's sitting, I don't really have to do it, but we're not looking for surgical grade tracking. You know, it's like if he moves a pixel, maybe you don't move a pixel. We're looking for, I think I said it in the handout, we're looking kind of for a summary of his movement. Because it's like he does this thing a lot. Sorry to the camera if I go out or you can't hear me. It's like he'll look here and then immediately start walking this way. And we
call that a juke.
it's a juke. And so we don't want to follow him so tightly that we start anticipating this movement, and then by the time we're where he was, he's already over here. And so it's like we mostly want to keep Matt, for the shots where he's centered, mostly keep him centered, you know. We're going to be focused on a summary of his movements, or Ben moves a lot more than Matt. I think Nick moves a decent amount as well. He's probably in the middle between them. But yeah, we're kind of going to be looking for the summary of his movement. Same for worship, the tight shot. If you're on camera 1, Lord knows Parker likes to put down his acoustic guitar in the middle of a song. Sorry. But it's like, if I step back, it's like, oh, you see that? Maybe you don't have to, like, if I have to go put it to the side a little bit, maybe you don't have to follow me exactly to watch me put my guitar down, and you can just be ready for when I'm back in my position. Or if we do, you know, woo, you know, and we move a little bit, you don't gotta so surgically follow us. We're kind of just looking more for those summaries of movement.
What about framing here in worship? Because it's one of my pet peeves to have a centered shot go on top of a centered shot. You basically, especially with a cut, you have Parker turn into Joe on the screen.
Totally, and that's
Why I like thirds.
yeah, and so that's where the roles I think are going to be really helpful, because rarely, if ever, will we have two shots that are framed exactly the same between camera ops. Because Diane loves her wide shot. She's going to have maybe a cowboy or a full body shot of Cam, and anybody else literally is going to be on the tight shot.
The corollary there is you want those shots centered?
Pretty much, yes. A lot of our thirds shots are going to come from our handhelds, and so we'll be switching a lot from front of house to handheld to handheld to front of house to handheld to front of house. You know,
If the handheld has a shot of someone from the side, I like space out in front of them.
totally.
It doesn't make sense to have a frame left or even centered.
Yeah, there's a lot of artistic direction that it's going to come. So it's like I love a centered shot because I feel like it helps me when I'm watching. And this is not for everything. I love a good third. But to be able to like keep my eyes in the same place. That's why when we're editing, we're looking for a lot of the time, not all the time, keeping the eye line level with people because we want them to be able to, be able to watch. And then when it switches, they're not having to like figure out where the subject is. And there are times, but it's like when we're straight on. So especially from our front of house cams, we're mostly going to have them centered, or if we have two subjects, have them each on a third. And a lot of those subjects will be on like the same Z-axis, I guess you call it, the same depth, because of the nature of the focus of our stuff. But a lot of our front of house cams are going to be centered on our subject, and then it's up to the eyes of our rovers plus our directors to figure out framing. So it's like I know Andy loves a shot where you kind of rack focus from one third to another third. You get your, Parker's face right here is in focus, and then rack focus and Cam or Luke is in focus, or Joe or whatever. But so most of our thirds are going to be coming from our camera ops,
Well, I think
or for our stage cams.
I think the notion of the one's wide and one's tight almost always that changes that.
Yes.
Because you're not slamming the same profile on top of it.
Yeah, and that's really intentional, just to make the guesswork kind of fade away. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. So, I always find that, like the wide shots is always, we don't notice that when we have two senior scenes, we barely ever have a wide shot that shows both seniors singing. And I think that's good for like wide shots.
Yeah, totally.
I also, and I don't know if this is stuff that incorporated, but are we still going to do the like, on wide shots, like we'll start tight, but then we'll go wide, zoom out, and then on tight shots, are we gonna start, so there's like a little bit of movement where the director can do like we're zooming in.
Totally. I think we're going to be seeing a bit less of that.
So you want big shots.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a lot more fixed shots, partially for the accessibility thing, but also to keep that energy going. Like for our new volunteers, like so we don't have to worry about, because I know especially at Fred, the subs will rumble and it will like, as you're zooming, the camera will pull out of focus and zoom. Yeah. And so like zooming and trying to rack focus at the same time and trying to be like, hey, I'm about to run out of space on this. Impossible. And so I think we'll be seeing less of that. And the house cameras. So the rovers will be more of those action shots. And by nature, the roving cameras are the hardest, which is why you will never see me do one.
Patented swoosh shot where you push and go over the shoulder.
Swoosh might be out, Bobski. Swoosh might be out. Yeah, still say swoosh. I
Sounds like they don't fix shots, right? Cuts to fix shots.
the cuts to fix shots, and I think it's gonna be a lot about the timing of things. And so, my goal and Creed's goal, we've talked a lot, is to make sure directors always have a shot. There's been plenty of times where I've been switching at like our student summer conference, and I'm like, I'm not doing a workout watch. I don't know. I thought I was working out. I guess. But it's like, we're doing these things, and I'm like, I don't have a shot. I don't have a shot. And there's nothing more stress-inducing than, you know. And so creating this, it sounds like simplicity, and I'm sure in some ways, like if I'm honest right now, it can feel like we're probably putting some restraints on you guys. Like I'm happy to admit that probably can feel like that. But I think there's a lot of value in creating these systems that we can be really creative within. Again, I think about like me on stage. It's like if I start playing Led Zeppelin on stage, it might feel really cool, but it's also going to be really distracting. And so kind of creating lanes for us to, granted, I also can't play Led Zeppelin. If Luke started playing Led Zeppelin, it would be even cooler. But I think these are going to create a lot of opportunities for us to, one, succeed on a Sunday and be able to walk away and be like, what we created was really, really good. And also take the guesswork out of coming into it being like, are we going to be able to create anything at all? Yeah, I don't know. Creed, Luke, Joe, you guys have anything? Yeah, go ahead. That I think will. Yeah. So yes and yes. At Fred, it's gonna look a little different because we got to figure out how to put cameras in the room without, and also get them at an appropriate height for stuff.
So
But
that's actually my question. With two cameras and just doing cuts on fixed shots, that's going to be pretty nasty.
totally. So like I had mentioned earlier, our goal is to never have you have only two cameras.
Okay.
And so it's like, even if you don't have somebody, if you have two front of house cameras and neither of them are confident to run a rover, we will be able to have a rover on stage that's on keys and maybe also like one on drums. And so we will always have action shots to be able to take.
A rover on keys. Are you talking about fixed camera on keys?
Yeah, so take one of the handheld cameras, put it on a tripod. Yeah, and so we've started doing that again. And so like even at Niwot, they've experimented because their room is a lot easier to do it with, like putting it kind of back in the room a little bit with a tighter lens. So it's like you kind of get a little bit of variations. And so, I think having our cuts is going to like kind of standardizing and taking away kind of some of those variables are going to make it honestly easier just to be able to create a consistent product. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a lot of value in that to be able to, yeah, no matter, and so that way, no matter what Sunday you walk in, you know it's going to kick
Yeah, because
butt.
when I'm watching on YouTube, I can tell who's scripting.
Totally.
Yeah.
And even though that's cool, sometimes it's, we're just trying to be a little bit more like unified and a little bit more consistent. That way it's like no matter what Sunday you come to church, whether you're getting live teaching or watching from the stream, it's going to be really easy to kind of catch the vibe. Or if you're home, whether you're sick or you're on vacation or you're just home because you didn't feel like coming in, it's always going to rock. Uh-huh.
I think there'll be an aspect of that still, you know what I mean? Because at this point we're not making shot sheets. You know what I mean? Okay, on one, Luke, and then keys, and then drum, and then Luke, and, you know what I mean? So there's still going to be a lot of creativity that needs to happen from the director, from the ops, and you know, right now it's like not there's still so much more to be creative.
Yeah. And yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to pull back the curtains a little bit, it's like we're doing this with audio as well, both at front of house and broadcast, and like we're always having conversations about how we can do better. And so it's like if we get a month into this and this sucks, like we're like this sucks, we will be the first ones to like figure out something better. And so it's like we're talking. It's like, what if we got another roving cam? Oh, that costs a lot of money. We'll talk about that next budget year. But we're always having conversations because we want you guys to, one, be able to walk in on a Sunday and then walk out and be like, I love serving on this team. And to be able to be proud of the product. Product sounds weird, but I don't know what other word to use. The product that we produced. Yeah, Heath. Yeah. That, like, I think so. That feels like probably the like ugliest way to say it. Not that you're saying it ugly, but that's probably the most like stripped back, like not sexy way to say it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, but it's like in terms of per camera 2, you're mostly going to be on wide shots. So if it's a wide of whoever's leading the song, of Matt Colburn, because he's down at the front of the stage playing electric guitar, so things like that. So it'll be like, we will have roles, but not like, Heath, okay, you're just going to get Andy getting a camera shot of Parker. No, I'm. No. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Then you would say, give me position 2, and you know what position 2 is, and you name on the left.
Yeah, so that totally makes sense. Yeah, no, I think that's great. I didn't even think about that. That's really smart. Yeah.
So what's the tightest wide shot?
The tightest wide shot is probably going to be mid-calf. But we'll figure that out together. Creed has thought a lot about the directing and just in what we've been looking at. So a lot of our wide shots will be full body. And then a lot of them will be, and maybe it'll be cowboy. Who knows? Cowboy.
So that opens up a lot of, it's not just one piece. Yeah.
Yeah, but now that I understand, I definitely misunderstood what you were saying. But you're saying like, kind of give them the overview of the stage, and be like, okay, can you give me position one? Okay, position one is stage, how like from the house. That's your left, 2, 3, and it's like you could always be like,
Yeah, because as much as I like moving the camera around a lot,
totally.
I completely understand where you're coming from, especially when my son, his first time ever touching the camera, he was in rehearsal, I think he overloaded him a little bit. He did great, he really did.
Yeah.
But he was, he hung in there, but we almost scared him off.
Yeah, that's a really great idea. Trial by fire,
He
guys.
almost didn't want to go again because he was like freaking out.
Yeah, but no, that's a great suggestion. I'll be sure to add that in. That's really, really, really good.
Easier to teach him if I'm like, look, all you have to do is flip, because today,
Yeah,
3 different shots.
yeah,
If he calls out that shot, that's the one that he will.
yeah. No, that's great. No, that's really, really smart. Thank you. Yeah.
Also have some of these shot sheets, like in a handout with a ton of examples. And here and I always started like going to shot sheets at the director's station to be like, it's just stuff in there. So you'd be able to see that and you guys like, what's the tightest tight shot? You know, you could like that and stuff.
You mean just
So that's not
just the whites of their eyes?
the rubric either.
Yeah.
Also, I think that, and then it would be also easier for you to cut it down for someone new. Like,
Yeah.
someone who's more experienced, like, look, the new guys only have 2 shots for you.
Yeah.
The experienced guy, he gets the full array of shots.
Totally. No, that's really great. Yeah, that's a great suggestion. Thanks, Heath. Yeah, please.
The wide shot during the sermon,
Mm-hmm.
in my area on Sundays, they just don't have any light above the camera, or you've got the TV. And your examples,
That's gone.
far light, it's gone.
That's gone.
That's no longer there, okay.
Look at all that context.
Asking you,
Yeah. No, that's
no, when the TV, so the one right there on the left, as long as you're okay with that.
yeah, that's perfect. We are trying to the way that it wants to come out is like we're trying to make it like you're here, and it's like when you're here, you can see the top of the TV and a little bit above it, you know. And so it's like we don't want it to look like he has this. And so it's like, what was that? Was that last week? Nick had a graphic that took up the screen. It's like that doesn't look like a TV. So it's like that takes up the whole screen. But it's like when we have the TV, we want it to look like a TV. We don't want to, not that we're trying to trick people into thinking that it's a magical floating something. But yeah, so this is kind of the shot that I put in the shot guide as kind of like, that's my ideal wide shot.
I was experimenting with that with the camera one, and I figured something out. Because Matt jumps around a lot in the whole summary of movements, and if Matt's on the, what is it? Like on there, he's on the left side of the screen.
Yeah,
So if we had the left side of the television centered, track his movements. Just like to kind of get an idea of like, sure, the priority of the message.
out thing. Because it's like our ideal for like the wide shot is Matt and the TV are the subject. So it's like we're centering that group. Like we're not centering the TV and then Matt just kind of lives wherever. It's like that's our centered subject. And then on our tight shot, it's like Matt is the subject. And so it's like every week, because he never, except for the fact that he mostly goes and sits on the stool at the end of his message, he never does anything exactly the same, even between services. So there will be a lot of just kind of feeling it out, being like, oh, Matt's walking around a lot today. I'm going to think about like him in relation to the TV versus, oh, I really just need to focus on Matt.
And also the message, because a lot of the people who watch online, I think they really love that, getting the message from the. So would we be prioritizing the widescreen when he's like referring to the television?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the intimate moments with Matt when he's addressing the church is going to be
Uh-huh.
in focus.
Yeah, and that's that's just a philosophy thing. It's like we want, when Matt's talking to us, Matt's the subject. When Matt's reading scripture, when he's doing his points, when he's giving his gratitude list, you know, it's like Matt and the TV, because we want people to be able to see what's going on no matter where they are, you know, and not cheat them out of context if they're at the receiving campus or online. Yeah. Unless we have any super, yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah. And it won't be like, that's probably an exaggeration, if I'm being honest, because we're not going to go, it's like, unless we're in a super fast song and we have a bunch of shots ready, we're not going to be doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 4, 5. You know, we're not going to be doing it that fast. Yeah, go for it. Sorry, yeah.
So if the frequency is pretty fast, we might have a way to communicate to the director on the
Mm.
If a little button or something that pops up the light for the director somewhere.
Creed's,
Because every once in a while, the director's like, I'm coming to you, and they come to you right really quick, and you were just in the middle of like, okay, you're not coming to me, I'm gonna shoot you.
Yeah, that's the director's problem. That's his fault.
totally. And that's why, in some ways, it's like we're trying to make sure the director always has a shot. So it's like our tight shot of the song leader is pretty much going to be on the song leader for. Who's Bob? I love it.
That's when I know to go to you quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, he must be ready.
I was like, well, I was thinking that maybe that's, if you don't,
Yeah. No, that's a great suggestion. We'll for sure, and we're always trying to just make things easier for you guys. But
One thing I got from Andy, I was going, you know, ready 3, take 3, like that. And when I say ready 3, you gotta have a moment to actually get ready. So don't go ready 3, take 3, you know, say ready 3.
yeah, that's great.
So.
Yeah. And so I know that again is a lot of information. Oh, please.
Is ideally we're following the dynamic of the song. So like if we're doing that song 3 down, it's like we're changing at the top of the verse.
And like once a measure or 2. Yeah.
But if we're just following the pace of the song, but like we did Good Plans last week, it starts super low, but that bridge starts dropping, and then you can pick up the pace of you know what I mean? So we're all just kind of flowing dynamically with one another.
Yeah.
Even with motion, and even with that frequency of pace, all the key things, you know what I mean? So it starts to become one giant cohesive thing. But in terms of frequency, I would say it's like the idea is like we're following the vibes.
Like capturing the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure Creek figured it out.
Yep. He is already taken a mental note and we'll chase that down. Totally.
I'm pretty sure I won't pay any attention to that.
But
And I'm pretty sure I will not pay any attention to that.
I noticed last time I worked the focus. You can see what on my camera popped up.
No, if you got a shot,
yes.
if you got a shot, that means you're ready.
Green Dew is the best.
Yeah, that's great. We can make it green goo. Yeah.
Green Dew is the best.
Yeah, well, we can make the focus peaking green. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah. We'll make it green. That's fine. Yeah, that's great. No. I believe it. It's like frosted, but with that high C that came out with Ecto Cooler. Yeah. It took me a while to get there, so it wasn't as funny. Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, the neon green is great. Yeah, no, totally. Thumbs up. Happy to. Let's go ahead and for a few minutes. It thinks I'm working out again. I must have pressed a button. unless we have any super pressing questions that feel appropriate for everybody, for the next like 10, 15 minutes, let's break up into directors and then camera ops. And we'll just kind of go over a little bit hands-on. If we don't feel like we need it, that's great. I would just love to give you the opportunity to like feel out some shots. Sorry, I'm burping a lot. Yes.
I just have one quick suggestion for directors. I know sometimes I've got a shot of Robert having some awesome shot. I'm sitting there holding it and waiting. They go around, all the other three cameras, like, every time, like, okay, it's a shot.
It's like, let me know.
If I have a shot, just hate to say, move on, find another shot.
Yeah, that's great.
I generally try to do that. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Well, generally what I'll say is, Jeremy, hang in there, we'll get to you in about a minute.
No, that's great.
Don't do any back shots without you, because we'll never take it.
Yeah. I just want to reiterate, I know I threw a lot at you guys and threw a lot of like don'ts at you guys and a lot of do this insteads. You guys are the blood of the worship and production ministry. Sundays don't happen without you guys. And I think that what you guys do is really awesome. So I just want to encourage you guys again, like don't hear what we're saying and think, oh, I suck. I gotta do what Parker said because he's way better. I don't feel that at all. I think you guys are the best. And I can't say that enough. I know the four of us, we would all say that. You guys are. Not just important because you guys are good at what you do, but because like you add to the team. I love seeing you guys every Sunday, and I'm just super thankful for what each and every one of you guys does. Valerie's not even camera op, and she's so feel it out. It's a vibes thing, it's like yeah, that's a great question. So, for example, this week, Ben is speaking. And so it's like when Matt has his TV, he does what he wants. And for lyrics, those are just important to be on time. But with Ben speaking this week, he doesn't use the TV. He uses mostly lower thirds. And so I think that's a great idea. It's like, let's try okay, we're going to cut to a wide shot of Ben, and we have this slide coming up. Let's try taking those at similar times. And if it feels weird, or he, it's like, oh, we miss a cut, but he has this key in the graphics, that's totally fine. I will say with graphics, we will still be fading, doing the auto keying in and out. So those will fade in and out. It won't be like cut and graphic will also cut. The graphics in and out will continue to be fading because they're in that mixed media.
So you're talking about a 7-frame DSK camera?
Yeah, the technical term for it. No, sorry. The camera cuts will still, or the camera transitions will still be cuts. The keying in and out of graphics, so like lower thirds or half screen slides, those will fade in and out.
Well, he's just talking about bringing the in and out, but you don't want to sling it in,
Yeah, jump scare.
as opposed to a camera suit. He's just talking about. Well, by fade, I assume you mean a take, which
Yeah.
right now is 7 frames.
Yeah. That I.
Quarter of a second.
Great. That, it sounds weird to say after being so, detail-oriented, is something that I don't think is quite as deep, at least for me. Creed might have, and Creed, when he's with the directors, I feel free to totally override what I'm saying. But that just doesn't feel quite as, needs to be systematic. It's like, if, oh gosh, Ben just started running in his thing and I have to key this out, but I need a really quick switch to the wide shot so that he's in the shot, in the camera shot. I just don't, I don't know that that's quite as, that's more of a feel it out thing. Yeah. Is there anything else? Otherwise we'll break out real quick. Great. So directors will go with Creed or stay here. Camera ops, we can head to the auditorium for a little bit. Yeah, you guys are the best. Once we're done, like, we won't reconvene. So I just wanted to make sure we say one more time, you guys are the best. And I'm so thankful for each and every one of you being willing to roll with us as we try and just, yeah, make Sundays.
Nice job.
Oh, thanks, man. No.
Until we get it right.
That's a great question.
Me and Creed would not
We
like
were actually talking about this at lunch with the group yesterday.
Yeah. Bye, guys. Yeah. So we.
what he was expecting.
Yeah. So we also recorded this whole thing. Audio and video.
Oh, before we break out, will you guys stay in that? And I can always email. Well, I'm not a big Google. Yes. It'd be great to have. Yeah.
Like this next level above.
So does Jen. Jen totally.
And this all stemmed from, I wish I could tell you, we had so much